Okay, multi-store model of memory. I'm going to try and do a series of videos where I blitz topics in 5 minutes. I've got a timer next to me. So multi-store model, just always remember the key proposal, memory isn't just one single unitary store. It's made up of these three stores: sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory. Everything around us is being picked up by our senses. What you're seeing, what you're hearing, that's in your sensory memory, so it's there. When you pay attention to it, then it transfers to your short-term memory. So yeah, you'll pick up things in your peripheral vision, they'll be in your sensory memory, but you won't remember it until you pay attention to it. So information passes to your short-term memory. With rehearsal, it can be retained in the short-term memory, and then with further rehearsal, potentially transferred to long-term memory. Don't forget, from long-term memory, it can be retrieved. So if somebody asks you a question about what you did last year, you will retrieve information from your long-term memory into your short-term memory. Information can be lost at any stage through various mechanisms. We talk about displacement in short-term memory, where it's got a limited capacity. New information will displace other ones, or through decay from sensory or short-term. And also we'll be covering interference theory in long-term memory. So information can be lost at each stage. So to write a solid outline of this model, you need to know your stores. I strongly recommend drawing a diagram. Now when I say draw, I mean quickly sketch. Please don't hang around on it. Get all of the arrows there, get your 3 boxes, and then just talk your way through it. Write your way through from the environmental stimuli entering sensory memory all the way through there. Common student errors with this: putting attention in the wrong place, so putting attention before sensory memory rather than after, and saying that rehearsal transfers information to LTM, forgetting that it retains it in short-term memory first of all. It will need further rehearsal to go to LTM. And also the common one is forgetting the retrieval. A number of times I've seen these one-way systems where all this stuff's going into your long-term memory and they forget to say it comes back. Now, you do need to be aware of the nature of the stores. If you're ever asked about the nature of the stores, that's talking coding, capacity, duration. So capacity and duration should be fairly straightforward. Capacity, how much can it hold? Duration, how long can it hold it for? Coding is the way in which it's stored. So working through them, sensory memory is coded according to the senses, modality specific. So if it's visual input, it will be coded visually, and so on. Very large capacity is taking huge amounts of information all the time, but very limited duration. Okay, so if you're not paying attention to something, you move away, then it'll be gone. We're talking quarter of a second, maybe half a second tops. Short-term memory, limited capacity, approximately 7. There's that study, magic number 7, plus take 2 items, approximately 5 to 9 items if you want to word it that way. Duration between 20 to 30 seconds, and coded acoustically. We'll come to that in another video. And then we've got long-term, which appears to have infinite capacity, potentially infinite duration. Soften your language on that, don't say it definitely has. It's very hard to say for definite, but it appears to have. And this appears to be coded semantically, so according to meaning. Okay, so that is a topic in its own right, the nature of all of these stores. So make sure you know that. We will, in another video, talk about different studies that have looked into the nature of these stores. So you can talk about that in its own right, but also you might use some of that research to for your evaluation of the multi-store model, supporting research. Okay, so that's your basic outline of the multi-store model.